This coal mine in Ankara's Nallıhan district stopped its operations for 2 weeks after the earthquakes in the southeast of Türkiye. That's because most of its workers went to the affected area to help rescue survivors.
The miners who work here are successful in search and rescue because they have experience in creating space to move in small compartments. They make space using fortification techniques. In the quarry, speed and adaptability is required, just like in the aftermath of an earthquake. We also have specialized rescue teams who undergo regular training and evaluation, and those are the first miners we send out when a disaster occurs.
3% of the miners in a quarry are required by law to specialize in rescue, but the manager says much more of the miners who work here are trained. The training involves simulations in dark, hot environments with little to no oxygen, with equipment such as respirators, gas detectors, and thermal cameras. That continuous training might be the reason miners from all around Türkiye became the anonymous heroes of the search and rescue efforts. On the morning of February 6, shortly after the first earthquake hit, a group of 25 coal miners rushed here to their workplace to grab their search and rescue equipment. Now, each of these emergency bags has the name of a coal miner written on it. For example, this one reads Volkan Yilmaz. A military plane then escorted them to Gaziantep, one of the hardest hit provinces. They would soon be joined over the following 24 hours by over 700 of their colleagues, all coal miners regularly stationed right here. Each of them worked for 8 to 10 days in the affected provinces, and they helped rescue 66 people from the rubble. One of their miracle rescues happened 11 days later when they pulled out 17-year-old Aleyna Ölmez.
I was the first to see there was a foot that was moving slightly. My friend Murat here was also with me. I told him to go to the person we'd found. When we saw Aleyna, we were so happy to have witnessed a miracle.
Another miner says he did not feel tired because of their experience of working in the quarries.
Our perseverance in the earthquake zone was just us doing our job. We spent days and nights with the people there, waiting for their loved ones, crying with them, feeling with them, laughing with them. We became like family.
He visited Aleyna in the hospital last week before she was discharged, and he was happy to see her doing well.
When I arrived at the hospital, the chief physician asked me if Aleyna was smiling when we rescued her. I saw her for 10 seconds while she was under the rubble. She was smiling then, and she was smiling when I was in the hospital. I hope she smiles every day for the rest of her life, and that she is always perseverant.
After taking some time off, the miners have returned to the quarry, but say they will never forget all that they helped achieve after the disaster. Rumeysa Kalin Karabulut, TRT World, Ankara.
Mutlib, the location you're in there in Kahramanmaraş, we can clearly see container homes behind you. How many do you think there are in that area